I can't be Mayor Joe Riley. I don't have his power. We're not that form of government. Okay. So you've got to, I think that's what you got to do. You just got to figure out and keep talking and get people to agree.
Okay. What would be your agenda concerning the historic district of downtown?
I personally would like to see it extended, but I think we have to liberalize what material, historic material. We're in a tight economic situation. A lot of people don't have a lot of money. If you look at that building on the corner that Bill Beauchene built, right on Cedar and the short century closed off, people say, wow, that building looks like it's been there forever. But it isn't. It's new. And the material that's available today, unless you're a true specialist, I dare say you can't tell the difference. So I think we need to liberalize what can be done. But I would like to see even the historic district actually enlarged. But I'd like to see stuff that's built try to replicate what looks historic and fit into the district. You go up to Williamsburg and they've got a new McDonald's that looks just like a little old historic house. And the only reason it's a McDonald's, you can see, has a little plaque on the outside, very small with little arches on it, but it just fits in with the architecture. Mm-hmm. And if you catch the people early, those companies will do that. They'll fight you a little bit, but they want their business in there. And they will change their standard structure and architecture to get their restaurant in town. They will do that. But you have to have the zoning and the ordinances to do that. So we need to look at that and change those ordinances. But you have to have some flexibility in there. You can't be too rigid, or you chase people away.
What things do you think could be done to help promote or improve the quality of life in Somerville?
Well, one of the things, of course, everybody talks about is infrastructure and the traffic. And the problem you have with that is that no one wants responsibility for the roads. The state doesn't want it. The county doesn't want it. The city damn sure doesn't want it, but they did take some roads into the town the other night. And it's a problem. There's no money. People fight bypasses. This town needs bypasses. That's where you've got to get not only our state legislature on board, but our federal. And I'm hoping that Tim Scott will improve in his hierarchy and influence and tell him, hey, if you got 30,000 votes up here. I remember when they first put the expressway halfway around Miami where I grew up, Coral Gables, and everybody said, that's ridiculous. No one needs that. Now they got 4 more beltways. Now no one will use that. No one will use that. And one of the things to get people on board, I suggest we dump a whole town truck full of rock on Berlin Myers and close it for about a week to see what happens in Main Street. Get people riled up. And I'm not sure about the ins and outs of this, but because I'm not on the end, but there's rumors that just 1 or 2 people in the T farm where I live is holding that up. And when I came here in '73, my realtor told me, Doris Dean said that thing is going to go there, and it was not arguing, but discussion upon which side of that drainage ditch that thing was going on. And I'm not sure why people get upset. My sister-in-law lives in Atlanta, right off the interstate. You don't even hear it. They've got those sound barriers and it's trees and all, and you'd never know that road was there. And we live right off of 17A, and we hardly hear the traffic unless there's a siren in the middle of the night. So I don't understand all that opposed to that road. It really helped because people are coming. Basically, people aren't going to Somerville; they're going through Somerville.
Well, Dream was wondering what you might be able to do to help some of the roadblocks that keep popping up when we have some of our downtown events. Attitude at town hall sometimes isn't positive, and we have ended up paying for the police to help people cross the street.
I think with a little creative, I've talked to Bruce about it, I think with a little creative accounting, there's no reason why you can't use tourist money for that. You can hire an extra policeman with that tourist money, and as long as that policeman is in the tourist area. I would love to see able to not run around the street, but maybe have the tables out at night and have a little, I wouldn't serve hard liquor, but beer and wine, but you'd have to be seated at a table to bring business downtown. Delightful, you'd limit the hours and all. Like they're starting to do all over the world, really, and Charleston's doing it. No reason why you couldn't do it here. You have a little trouble with some of the bars, but I think if you put a uniformed policeman around, that would control a lot of that. Unfortunately, what happens is, a few people spoil it for everybody. I think that could be worked out with some good rules and kind of ease into it. But yeah, I think, as I understand it, we're caught with the tourist money. We don't bring in enough to allow us to put it into the general operating fund, like Charleston can. We're just on the edge. Now, you got to work with us. We need to change that law. It's ridiculous. So we're trapped. We have to use that money for tourism type stuff. But I think you can be creative in using that money. So that's how I would do that stuff. But I'm all in favor of closing the streets and having people go around and trying to get people downtown. I don't know how legally you could make people on the other side of 17 by the movie theaters, spruce that area up with some curtains and different things. I don't know how you can't force them to do that until they do major renovation. And you can. It has to be a percentage of the building and price of the building and all.
Okay, how do you think we, here in Somerville, we can be able to keep our own identity facing some of the problems we have with North Charleston coming in down
You've got
all
a
the
problem
little
with,
avenues.
yeah, you also got a problem with Goose Creek. I was coming back from a wedding at Apollo's Island, and I'm coming down 17A, and all of a sudden I see a sign before I got to the interstate. City of Goose Creek.
Yep.
And the biggest fear would be that we'd be surrounded like Hanahan. And then you're in trouble, and you're impacted by the stuff around you, but you have no jurisdiction, no control. Unfortunately, Mayor Riley started that when he jumped across to Daniel Island. Prior to that, there was natural boundaries, and no one did anything. Joe Riley's nice, but I don't trust him. He's all Charleston, and he's done a good job for Charleston. He talks about the greens and all the boundaries and all, but as soon as Charleston annexes something, he'll extend the roads. He wants to extend that Glen McConnell, which actually they should extend it. They should extend it all the way. The original thing years ago when I was at the planning board was supposed to come in and hit Orangeburg Road, 4-lane Orangeburg Road all the way out to the interstate, and then a spur out to Give Ann's. And all that's kind of a screeching halt. Now they've even quit talking about bringing it in at Orangeburg Road, which is needed, plus a spur at Give Ann's. You got to get more roads around here. They say to get the Berlin-Myers Parkway done, annex it into Charleston. It'll get done. And same with when Mayor Bourne was with North Charleston. You say he'd annex all the way to Orangeburg if he could. But you have to be careful what you annex. You got to look at things real carefully. We want to annex all the business we can. But there's certain, like I would never want to annex Sand Green. I think that's a loss for the town, a tax loss. I'd want the business, but I wouldn't want the houses.